Hi everyone, Melanie Cameron here with the Cameron team, Coldwell Bankers, Seacoast Advantage in Wilmington, North Carolina. Hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. I have had recently a lot of friends and clients say, Melanie, should I refinance my home? Interest rates are really good right now. I heard they were almost 0%. First of all, that is not the case. Back in early March when the Federal Reserve reduced rates to just over 0%, that is not the mortgage interest rate. People went crazy when they heard that. That is not the case. It is not a direct correlation with what interest rates are. It does have some effect on interest rates, but it is not. We are not getting anywhere close to a 0% interest on your mortgage. If so, I'd be the first one in line. So interest rates are really good though. They're hovering below 4% in most cases. Obviously that can change daily, so confirm with your lender on interest rates. But I wanted to talk about refinances and when is a good time to refinance. Should you refinance, and kind of what do you have to do in order to refinance? So first of all, if you are considering a refi, when should you do that? If you can lower your current interest rate by 1 or 2%, it is a good time to consider a refi. You can save a pretty good amount of money depending on what your current interest rate is on a refi if you can drop your interest rate by 1, especially 2%. Now, with that being said, you also need to do what I would refer to as a break-even analysis. You need to consider what the cost of that refinance is going to be compared to how long you're going to be in your home. For example, if it's going to cost you $3,000 in lender fees, etc., in order to refi, and you're going to reduce your monthly payment by $100, it's going to take you 30 months or 2.5 years in order to break even. So it's going to be 2.5 years before you actually start saving that $100 a month. If you're only going to be in your home, you think, for another 1.5 years, 2 years tops, it doesn't make sense to refi because you're not going to break even or recoup the money that you're spending in order to do that refi. Now, if you can drop it that much and you're planning on being in your home for another 5, 10, 15 years, that does make sense. So consider that. Another thing I wanted to bring up was what lenders are going to want to see from you in order to qualify you for a refi. First thing they're going to want to see is at least that you have a 12-month history of paying your current mortgage on time. They don't want to see no late payments. They want to see that you have a history of on-time payments for at least the last 12 months. They're also going to want to see that you have at least 10 to 20% equity in your home. Different loans have different parameters, but that's a good rule of thumb to have 10 or 20%. Now you ask, how do I know if I have 10 or 20% equity in my home? The lender is going to require an appraisal. If you're a little unsure, not sure if you're quite there or not, give me a call. I'm happy to give you my opinion of what I think you have as far as equity goes, but the lender is going to have an appraiser come out and confirm that for any type of loan. They're also going to check your income. They're going to confirm that your income and debt, income to debt ratio is sufficient to support the refi. They don't want you to be overextending yourself in that. And then they're also going to look at your credit status. Obviously, the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate is going to be, and vice versa. The lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate is going to be. So those are the 4 main parameters that they're going to look at. Again, if you have any questions, I know some fantastic lenders in the marketplace. I'm happy to connect you. Happy to tell you, what I think as far as values go in your home. I'm really not seeing the COVID virus having a huge impact on values. I am tracking that very closely throughout the area. Obviously, showings have slowed down amidst the virus, but I do think that once we're past this, we'll see kind of a backlog of people coming forward and kind of a resurgence of our market, hopefully very quickly. If you have any questions about refi or would like for me to connect you with a local lender, I am happy to do so. Call me anytime at 910-202-2546 or check us out for other helpful tips and videos at www.thecameronteam.net. Have a great day, everyone.